Astronauts explain why no human has visited the moon in 50 years, and the reasons why are depressing. The prolonged absence of human visits to the moon over the past 50 years and the underlying reasons behind it. I hope you enjoy it, then subscribe and like. Despite the monumental achievement of landing 12 people on the moon during NASA's Apollo missions in the 1960s and 70s, no human has set foot on the lunar surface since December 1972. According to astronauts and experts, the barriers preventing return visits are primarily political and budgetary rather than scientific or technological. While astronauts engaged in significant activities during their lunar stays, including rock collection, experiments, and flag planting, these missions did not establish a lasting human presence on the moon. However, there is growing momentum towards a resurgence in lunar exploration. Recently, a U.S. lunar lander named Odysseus, developed by Intuitive Machines with NASA funding, touched down on the moon's surface, marking the first commercial mission to achieve this feat since Apollo 17. NASA's Artemis program aims to return U.S. astronauts to the moon, potentially by September 2026, with plans to include the first woman, Black astronaut, and Canadian to walk on the lunar surface. Former NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine has emphasized that it's not technological limitations hindering these endeavors, but rather political risks and high costs. Despite these challenges, there is significant interest in establishing a permanent human research station on the moon, viewed as the next logical step in space exploration. Such a lunar base could serve as a springboard for deep space missions, facilitate scientific discoveries, and potentially kickstart a lunar space tourism industry. However, experts highlight mundane yet significant obstacles such as funding and political will as the main hurdles to overcome in realizing these ambitions. Delves into the financial challenges associated with space exploration, particularly the costs involved in lunar missions. Despite NASA's substantial budget, $25.4 billion in 2023, with a proposed increase to $27.2 billion for 2024, the agency faces significant constraints due to the diverse array of projects it undertakes, including the James Webb Space Telescope, the Space Launch System, and missions to various celestial bodies such as Mars, Jupiter, and the outer reaches of the Solar System. However, when compared to other government expenditures, such as the U.S. defense budget of approximately $858 billion in 2023, NASA's budget appears relatively modest. Historically, NASA's funding has fluctuated, with its peak at 4% of the federal budget in 1965, compared to approximately 0.5% in 2023. This limited allocation poses challenges for ambitious space exploration initiatives, particularly crewed missions. The Artemis program, aimed at returning humans to the moon, is estimated to cost $93 billion from 2012 to 2025, a significant investment but considerably less than the $257 billion spent on the Apollo program in today's dollars. Former astronaut Walter Cunningham emphasized the financial hurdles of manned exploration during congressional testimony, noting the difficulty of garnering political support without sufficient funding. He highlighted the discrepancy between NASA's budget and the scope of its proposed missions to Mars and the Moon, suggesting that additional funding would be necessary to realize these goals. Overall, the article underscores the complex financial landscape and the need for adequate resources to sustain ambitious space exploration endeavors. Explores the challenges posed by the shifting priorities of different U.S. administrations on NASA's space exploration initiatives, particularly focusing on lunar missions. It highlights the uncertainty surrounding the continuity of projects due to partisan political changes every 4 to 8 years. Former astronaut Chris Hadfield emphasized the unreliability of long-term predictions made by presidents, given the transient nature of political leadership. The narrative traces back to the Bush administration's initiation of the Constellation program in 2004, aiming to replace the retiring space shuttle and return astronauts to the Moon using the Ares rocket and Orion spacecraft. However, President Obama's administration decided to scrap the Constellation program due to cost concerns and opted for the Space Launch System (SLS) rocket instead. Subsequently, President Trump shifted priorities towards lunar and Mars missions, setting a goal for NASA's Artemis program to land astronauts on the Moon by 2024. However, frequent changes in priorities among administrations have led to numerous cancellations, wasting billions of dollars and years of effort. Despite this trend, President Biden has shown continuity by maintaining Trump's Artemis program and keeping the Space Force intact. However, the article emphasizes that the commitment to lunar exploration must come from Capitol Hill, with bipartisan support being crucial for sustained leadership in space exploration. Former astronaut Buzz Aldrin stressed the importance of American leadership in space exploration and the need for sustained commitment from both Congress and the administration. However, the article notes that public interest in lunar exploration has historically been lukewarm, even during the Apollo era. A Pew Research poll from 2023 indicates that while most Americans support NASA's role in space exploration, only a small percentage prioritize human lunar missions. Instead, the majority express more concern about other space-related endeavors, such as scanning for killer asteroids. This underscores the disconnect between government priorities and public interest in space exploration, highlighting the challenges in garnering widespread support for lunar missions. Explores the formidable challenges associated with establishing a human presence on the Moon, emphasizing that beyond political and budgetary obstacles, the lunar environment itself presents significant hurdles to overcome. The Moon's surface, marked by craters and boulders, poses threats to safe landings, necessitating extensive efforts in satellite mapping to identify suitable landing sites. One of the most concerning aspects of the lunar environment is the presence of regolith, or moon dust, created over billions of years by meteorite impacts. Moon dust proved problematic during the Apollo missions, clinging to suits, vehicles, and spacecraft. Astronaut Peggy Whitson highlighted the importance of addressing this issue, especially for long-duration stays and permanent habitats on the Moon. Furthermore, the Moon's lack of atmosphere leaves its surface exposed to extreme temperature fluctuations. During the 14-day lunar day, temperatures soar under the Sun's intense radiation, while the following 14-day night plunges into frigid cold, reaching below -200 degrees Fahrenheit. NASA is developing fission power systems to provide electricity during these extended periods of darkness, essential for sustaining lunar missions. Astronautical engineer Madhu Tongavelu emphasized the Moon's harsh environment but also noted its potential as a learning ground for living away from Earth. Despite NASA's efforts in designing dust and sun-resistant equipment such as spacesuits and rovers, uncertainties remain about their readiness for deployment. Concludes with Artemis II mission commander Reed Weissman's acknowledgement of the immense difficulty of lunar missions, underscoring the significant technical and logistical challenges that lie ahead in realizing human exploration and habitation of the Moon. Discusses the evolving landscape of space exploration, particularly focusing on the significant contributions and ambitions of private companies led by visionary billionaires such as Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. It highlights the challenges faced by traditional space agencies like NASA, including an aging workforce and the need for innovation to drive progress in space exploration. A key concern raised by astronauts is the graying workforce within NASA, with a significant portion of employees over the age of 40. This demographic trend raises questions about innovation and excitement within the space agency, as younger individuals are often seen as essential for driving forward-thinking initiatives. The emergence of a generation of billionaires who are space nuts, including Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, has brought about a wave of innovation in spaceflight. SpaceX, founded by Musk, and Blue Origin, founded by Bezos, have spearheaded efforts to develop new, private spacecraft capable of reaching the moon and beyond. Their endeavors have reshaped the spaceflight industry, challenging traditional approaches and driving down costs. Both Musk and Bezos have articulated ambitious visions for the future of space exploration. Bezos envisions building the first moon base using Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket system, while Musk sees his Starship launch system as a means to enable affordable and regular lunar visits. Their long-term goals extend beyond lunar exploration, with aspirations for Mars colonization and the expansion of economic activity in space. Despite setbacks and challenges, such as SpaceX's recent Starship test flight failure, astronauts remain optimistic about the future of space exploration. Retired NASA astronaut Jim Lovell, who flew on Apollo missions to the moon, expresses confidence that humanity will eventually return to the moon and venture onwards to Mars, even if it may not happen in his lifetime. Overall, the article underscores the transformative impact of private sector involvement in space exploration and the collective determination to push the boundaries of human exploration beyond Earth.
Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Thanks you for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.